Hey guys, Mineral here, back with another video. For this one, during a stream, I just wanted to do a quick little analysis of the Toronto Defiant versus the Atlanta Reign match. Specifically, just take a look at the defense of the Toronto Defiant. They full held on first point Volskaya with with the Clockwork Vendetta composition. They also shown a lot of prowess on that composition in the Havana map a little bit later on. So I just kind of wanted to go through the defense, see what they did well, kind of go through the strengths of the composition, how they managed to pull it off, what Atlanta potentially could have done better. So yeah, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. All right, so let's take a look how the Defiant boys made the Clockwork Vendetta comp work. So obviously a lot of annoying stuff to deal with. Comp that can create a ton of chaos. A lot of heroes who can relieve pressure. Interesting that they set up here. Again, a lot of pressure up top. Let's see. First of all, let's see what Reign pick into this. It's gonna be interesting. Baby base scouting. So they go for Genji Sombra. No, baby base swapping. So they go for kind of the standard Poe comp, right? Makes sense in theory. You have a huge advantage in shield break because there's no diva on the side of Defiant. If you can break that shield, you know, your snipers can get picks. You can slowly take map control, choke your opponents out. Obviously, I think with this composition, again, I haven't studied it as much. I think there's going to be a lot of off angling from Defiant. You're obviously you can't really rely on this shield. So yeah, we'll see how they play. Nice little pull. Could have potentially have been a kill there. And now they put their first shield down. And you can see how quickly before this one even lands, that one breaks. Obviously, as a defense, you have a second one, but it's essentially an even shield war now, with Reign having more shield break. And again, this pull, you can't eat this. You have no diva. And very nice pull. So this is a terrific opportunity for Dogman to get a pick. Yakpung blocks it. You know, like this is the thing. If Yakpung doesn't block this, say Yakpung uses his Fortify when he's here, that means he doesn't get pulled up. That means this is a kill. This kills someone, unless it hits the ice block. But most of the time, this is going to kill someone. So this is actually good that he doesn't use it. He gets himself pulled in there, and he blocks this. Because otherwise, there's no way you can survive this. Now you've negated a big threat. Obviously, you split with the wall a little bit here. But again, your shield is down. Your turret is probably going to be going down here. Gods could have still gotten picked off here. Erster shot out an arrow. So a lot of bullets dodged here by the Defiant. The hook, and then the fact that this isn't a headshot. Because if this is a headshot on Gods, can't res that. There's no shield. But obviously you have to give this up now if you're Defiant. Let's see what positions they take now with their next shields. So you see, like, everyone's bunkered in here, but once again, your shield is usually going to break first. So this is a fun way to negate threats. So usually in this composition, as far as I understand it at least, the wall is going to be used to block, block different things. So for instance, even when the pull hook came in here, if a Gods hadn't walled here, he could potentially wall off the follow-up hook with his wall. And that's kind of how you have to use it. So this, even though this pull is decent, this could be converted into a kill. The timing on the wall is very good, and it just kind of negates the pull hook combo. And it also relieves a little bit of pressure on the shield. Because there is a lot more shield pressure from the Reign, this buys you a lot of time. If we look at Yakpung, 5 seconds to the next shield. So this is probably going to break... I mean, it's at 200 HP, but it should still buy enough time to... at least not before it's too far into this room to still be able to contest the corner. And you see the hook is blocked. And Erster gets bull hooked instead. And no one's really ready to follow up because this wall is still zoning them. So it feels honestly like the Rain rush it a little bit. I think if they just wait, they go for a pull hook, they wait out the wall, it doesn't feel like there's a lot that Defiant could do. The turret is still broken. You still can't put up a turret. So honestly, if everyone just stuck together and pushed here, waited out the wall or broke the wall, you just win Shield War and you probably choke the Defiant out unless Logics can clutch from this angle. But they took high ground, and obviously since FRD isn't here to eat, Erster gets pulled. Bails them out. But even then, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Erster doesn't get pulled here, Yakpunk's low. His shield is coming up, but he's low. Neko has just used his vape. It's going to be very, very reliant on Logics here. But nice little pull hook. A nice wall by Gods. And now you're good. Now you've relieved a lot of pressure. Okay. Another great wall, right? Another great wall to block it. A great way to block the pull hooks. So this is the second pull hook that they block. And most teams probably don't have experience with this composition or playing against this composition as much. So you can see that Rain keep going for these pull hooks while Gods' wall is up. And you can see 7 seconds. Dogman's hook 5 seconds. So you're almost always going to have the wall for the hooks. It's going to be a very, very tiny window when you don't. So that's a great way to counterplay, which feels like you almost should pressure, because you have the shield break advantage, you should just pressure, break the shield, force Gods to use his wall to just relieve pressure, and then look for a pull hook. Visi with a 4-viewer host. Thank you a lot. So Logic's got his wall hack a little bit earlier, so it's nice that he's taking this little flank. This puts a lot of pressure on the Defiant. Because Baby Bay has no idea now where Logix is. I think Logix popped walls here, and then he moved over. So there's no way you can know if you're Baby Bay. So you have to be very careful here. Now he pops it, and now he knows where Logix is. Boom. Pull hook, again, blocked by the wall. Right? Same thing. And look at how low Yakpunk's shield is. You know what I mean? Like, it's 400. We see Pokpo. Pokpos is broken, actually. Yeah. But I feel like if everyone shot the shield, you try to force out that wall, it would be different. Nice hook. Oh, and Gods. Gods picks up. Okay. Gods picks off Baby Bay. But just perfect walls by Gods the whole way through. Ooh. So 8 Valks, and then Dogman tries to hook before the pull comes out. You could see that. Dogman hooked, and then the pull pulled up 8. So another missed opportunity with the pull hook. And obviously the wall came up, but I think you have that opening if you just sync up with Pokepo and Dogman. Man, yeah, Toronto can just clean up with their man advantage. All right, let's see what they do next. Let's take a look at that turret position. Nice little turret, like almost impossible to kill for Rain's comp. So as soon as they get on point, it's going to help a little bit in the shield war. It's going to provide a little bit of pressure. Never going to get destroyed. So a nifty little placement there. I like it by Mangachu. Okay, so wasted pull here. I mean hook by Neko. And this is the thing. It's not as easy as it sounds in terms of winning the shield war. So yeah, like you have more shield pressure with the Rain, but Yakpung has a second one. So he has 800 plus 900. and Pokpo has just 900 that he's placing here. So really, if you wanted to win the shield war here, Pokpo needs to know the angle to shoot it up so that it lands here, and then you peek with it, and then you have another one. Like that's how you win the shield war. But if you just kind of put it down dry like this, and you're gonna look for a pull hook, there's nothing you can get here if you're the Rain. You're gonna lose the shield war. Your hook is gonna get blocked. Like the angle though by Baby Bay. I'm mixing it up here. Wait, let's see how this trade goes. See, first shield breaks. Feels like Wall came out a little bit early. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication, because if Yakpung reshields, which obviously he was always gonna do because he has a second shield, and if he bongos, counterproductive to use the wall now because the pull hook is still there, correct? Yeah, the pull hook is still there. So I think God's walled here, not knowing that Yakpung has a reshield. So now you lose one of the tools to block the pull hook, and you immediately have to remove this wall because you want to get value out of the bongos. So, but the bongos should still be enough to pressure them out. Yeah. Now Baby Bay has been spotted. He took his shot. Had a nice little angle. Logic's smartly, when he doesn't know Baby Bay's position, is hiding. Now he knows where he is. He has a shield and Baby Bay doesn't. So Baby Bay probably has to back off over there. Ooh. Pokpo taking this, kind of risky. Honestly, I think as soon as the bongos comes down and the wall goes down, you back off here if you're the Rain. You don't contest this, because you won't be able to win the shield war now against the bongos, even though God's kind of wasted his wall. Just fall back, reset, wait out the bongos, go for another rotation. But Pokpo just abandons his team here, takes an off angle. Erster uses his ult, but Fried gets pulled and loses his mech. So even though the dragon is really good, it zones out and creates a lot of space, Gods is free to kind of roam and relieve pressure on his own. And especially since he has the Blizzard. So with this Blizzard, man, he creates so much space. He can kill Dogman pretty much on his own here. He just buys so much time. But really, like, if Popo just stayed here and you pushed in, well, I mean, you would probably all have gotten frozen, so. Just good overall play by Gods to relieve pressure. And that's what the Mei has to do with this comp, because at some point you will lose shield war. Your shield is going to be falling really quickly. You're going to have to give up space. You need players in position to relieve pressure on the objective so you can reset and buy yourself a little more time. Ooh, Baby Bay isn't aware here. Logic's repositioned well. So he has an angle here and Baby Bay isn't aware of that. Boom. Masa's dead. Very nice by Logix. And because God's killed the Dogman on points, it's pretty much over. Can't win this. So now you're heading into the last fight. You haven't farmed a lot of... Ooh, when you swap everything. So now you're pretty much screwed if you're the Rain. I mean, you didn't have a lot of your ultimates, but you only have 1 minute, which means you pretty much only have one real push. And you're pushing into a Hog ult, against Mangachu's ult, against Aid's ult. So you're still pushing into 3 ultimates. And you're resetting everything. Not a big fan of the swap. So you go Goats as well. Is that what they're doing? So they go Goats. And Goats, in theory, you could make it work. You could run them over on this map. But when you don't have time to build ultimates, and Defiant has the ultimates that they have, going to be almost impossible to do this. Defiant is just going to take up top. They're fine giving up a couple of ticks. Major ultimates are never... The only one who actually has a chance to farm up an ultimate here is Dogman and Fried, obviously, because he's the only one that doesn't swap. But really, Mangachu with the high ground, you're going to have a crossfire. You're going to have to deal with the turret. Obviously, Logix is going to play on another high ground. again, you're fine giving up a couple of ticks, but Mangachu also has his ultimate to relieve pressure. Eventually, Neko can drop with the whole hog. Gonna be very difficult. Let's see how they do. Especially if you only go to the point. If you only go to the point here, gonna be hard. So I like this as well. The rotation by Defiant. If you stay here, you don't have that great of an angle, and potentially the rain can come here and connect on you and just chase you down. So you just rotate to here. Then it means there's no way that the rain can get to you. Fried is obviously going to have to kind of mark targets, but it's going to be difficult to mark logics, and your shield is never going to hold. And Mangachu will be able to create ult with his spray, while Gods maintains this space. So you can't really push Gods off of this either. If Fried goes for this, he just gets frozen and dies. There's no one else who can... Well, Maski can potentially go for it, but yeah, you know, so Gods can also zone people out. You know, he could potentially put a wall here, put a lot of pressure on Popo, split them, so very difficult to find a way in which the Ren can win this. And there we go. You know, the headshot comes out on Baby Bay. Mangachu uses his ultimate, so now there's very limited space that you can use on the point. And Logix picks off Baby Bay. And you can see like how split, you know, this wall comes out. Popo is getting shot by a lot of people. He can't really, you know, he probably has to go that way. He can't really fall back this way. I think his shield is probably already really low. Let's see, it's at 650, right? So what is the next corner he's going to fall back to? He could fall back here, isolating himself, not a good spot. He could fall back here, but they can just drop on him and kill him now, potentially. You know, if Erster isn't close, Neko could easily drop with the whole hog if he needs to. You don't really don't have anywhere to go. So this wall is actually pretty decent. Yeah, Neko drops, especially when you lose Baby Bay. You can probably go for this. Don't mind the spin because you still have 30 seconds left. And don't mind the spin like Popo. You pretty much have to reset anyway. So if you can take Neko out of the fight with you and reset quickly, maybe you can have a 6 versus 5 in the next fight. And you have actually forced out AIDS and Mangachu's ultimates. So now just die quickly if you're the Rain. But they actually convert some kills. Let's play it back actually a little bit because it doesn't feel like this should be possible. It feels like, so you have given up 1 tick, but it's fine. Like give them 2. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to drop. I think that's the big problem why this fight is even close. Does Neko get booped down? Is that what happens? Because I want to know if he drops voluntarily. Because he really shouldn't. Or does Fried get the boop here? So I think Fried probably gets the boop here. Nope. Neko drops on his own. Yeah, not a fan. Like I said, Popo can't contest. At this point, who's going to contest the point? Erster's stuck. Popo doesn't have shield. So the longer you stay in this position with Gods just shooting them in the back, Mangachu shooting from a different angle, Logix can obviously reposition. Not much you can do. They're not going to get a second tick from these positions. So I think no reason to drop here for the Defiant. As soon as you drop, now you give, even with Baby dead, you just give the Rain a glimmer of hope. You give them a target to run over, which is as long as you're on the high ground, they don't have that target to run over. The hook going to be difficult to convert in general against goats, simply because Matrix is a thing. And then Gods drops as well. So I don't think Gods should drop either, especially when he doesn't have his wall. Like obviously he drops to try and I think all of this stems from Neko dropping. I think that's the biggest mistake. And then Yakpung and Gods react and drop and try to help him, and they feel comfortable enough doing that because they're 1 man up. But obviously Gods doesn't. He's missed the fact that Erster is behind him, so they can stun him and potentially kill him. And he does have his ice block, which is probably, again, another reason why he's feeling comfortable doing this. He's like, okay, I'm going to drop, I'm going to freeze them. If they focus me, I'm going to ice block, and then we should have enough time to win this fight anyway. With Mangachu still on the high ground, with Logix on another off angle, as long as no one dies here quickly, we should be fine. And with the ice block, he's comfortable doing that. But he gets stunned and killed. So now you're 4 versus 4. Still probably not really winnable, simply because of the dominant angle that Logix has here. And because there's actually a main tank on the side of the Rain. but it gives them... So you have to reset quickly here. I don't know why Fried flies at Logics here. I mean, they probably think it's winnable because they got the 2 kills. Also, the kill feed also shows Masa killing the turret. So it's kind of 3 quick kills, so to speak, in the kill feed at the same time, which maybe gives them false confidence. Maybe someone calls winnable, but really it's not winnable. You know, you just need to reset and use this time, while Neko and Gods are getting back into the fight. Use the time efficiently, reset as fast as possible so that you can have a 6 versus 4 potentially. But the longer they take to die out, the less likely that is. And Fried fighting here, and Dogman fighting here essentially loses it. Because now, especially if Dogman dies here. So he survives, but still. Fried died. Now you can see the spawners. Gonna be back. Not gonna be back taking dominant positions, but also the time has, so much time has passed that pretty much Rain has to like throw their bodies on the point, and if Yakpung just stays in this position, sort of like he did in the beginning, these guys will still be able to contribute to the fight. And also, Fried is obviously still going to be late into the fight as well. And he's the only one with the ultimate, so he's the only one who can actually make something happen here. And there you go. Essentially a full regroup for obviously not optimal positioning for the 2 Defiant spawners, but they still get back into the fight. So like we said, Dogman is going to get his ult. Difficult to get value out of this. I mean, you can get the turret. Wait. What happened there? Okay, Mayushu just destroyed it. Never mind. Earthstar goes on the flank to pressure. I mean, obviously, you don't have a lot of time to set up. Baby swap to the Widow to try and clutch this out. It doesn't quite have an angle on anyone here yet. And Logix isn't exposing himself. He's done well. Like, Baby has never really... Obviously, he hasn't only played like 2 lives on the Widow, but he never really had a chance to get an angle on Logix. And this is the thing, you know what I said. Suboptimal positioning because of the spawners, because you have to cross this way. And to this position, you're certainly going to get beaten by the Rain. So Gods kind of gets stuck here. But he's still completely fine because he has his ultimate. So now when he's caught like this out of position, everyone's going to call kill Gods. And he's going to try to pop his ult. And also Neko is using his ultimate. So Neko can actually boop them around and give Gods a little bit of space. Because if Gods comes out of this and he immediately blizzards, then Fried can probably eat it as well. But if Neko can bait out a little bit of the Matrix, opens up for Gods to get value out of his ult as well. So let's take a look at how Fried plays this. There we go. Yeah, you can see that. So that ult by Neko makes it so that Gods should be able to get his ult off. Obviously, he takes a lot of damage, almost dies. Maybe he even dies for this. But now there's no Matrix. Matrix is out. Gods is saved, and he can put down an ultimate and look at this area. Perfect spot to ult. You zone out both of the tanks. Obviously, the supports are going to be able to contest the corner, but going to relieve a ton of pressure. Going to give time for Logix to potentially reposition. Going to obviously put the Rain in a position where it's going to be impossible for Pokeput to get value out of his Shatter, which is, with the shield breaking, could potentially get a lot of value. And really, if you're Gods, you're looking to hunt down Masa here. If you throw down the ultimate and you just try and freeze Masa, you should be able to convert this kill, assuming Baby Bay doesn't kill him. And Baby Bay, he should realistically be looking at Gods here, but he's still worried about Logix. He knows that Logix is somewhere in that room. He knows he's going to drop, and he can't ignore the Widow duel, which is why you can see, like, he's focused on Logix. And Logix wins that duel. Now it's just kind of over. He really needed to win that duel or kill Gods. But again, very difficult for Baby, because if he focuses on Gods, maybe Logix drops and does this anyway. So you have to focus on that if you're Baby. And like I said here, He actually gets Dogman. So Gods gets Dogman as well. Dogman didn't have his fade, I assume. Yeah, he didn't have his fade. If he has his fade, he can get out, but Masa can't, which is why I said we should focus on Masa there. But yeah, now you got the 2 kills. Now it's over. It's a nice little way they used it. I think... I honestly think, like, the way the rain started, they just kind of got blocked by the wall. Maybe they don't have much experience playing against it. I think if they just focused on the shield together, especially when they forced the Defiant to this point, and they got the pull hook on Erster. If you just negate that threat, I think you kind of win if you're the Rain, and if you get a little bit better at taking the shield wars. So what I talked about in terms of not just shielding dry, but kind of shooting it up, knowing those angles. Because you're really in no rush. When the Defiant take positions super far back towards the Mega, you're in no rush. You just shoot up the shield, make sure you have 2, or at least your second one is going to come up faster, and you try to utilize that. And then then the swap just came at a really weird time when, again, like I said, going to be very difficult for you to win. Rain got very lucky that Gods and was Yakmuk or was it Neko? It was Neko, I think, who died. And that only happened because, again, Neko dropped, which he shouldn't have. So otherwise, it would have been probably even cleaner. But it was pretty clean. So good job by Gods. Overall solid May play. Still could have been over there in the beginning with the pull hook and Erster peeking. There's a lot of little things that could have easily gone wrong for the Defiant. But once they stabilized with their ultimates, they did very well. Thanks for watching, guys. To keep supporting this type of content and the channel, hit the magical subscribe and like buttons. Also, make sure you hop onto the Mineral Miners Discord to join the community and potentially take advantage of some coaching. You can find the link in the description box down below.